Okay, this is my monstrous coffee grinder, and today I am going to take it apart so I can clean the burrs, and you'll also see, I'll take the burrs right out so you get a good idea how easy it is to replace burrs on this thing. So first off, these little holes here, there's screws underneath those holes. Right now they're covered in coffee grunge. The grinder as well has kind of ceased to let the beans go through and get ground, I think because there's so much grunge in there. Because if you grind coffees that are have at least a little bit of oil in them, they tend to kind of over the months clog it up. So I'll dig that out and find out. I think it's a Phillips. Find out what kind of screw head that is and take that off. So here I am taking the screws for the bean hopper out. Okay, so I got all the screws off. Take the hopper out, and we get a look at how things are looking inside there. Pretty grungy, full of all kinds of gunk. You can also buy little cleaning pellets to put through the grinder. I've never tried those, so I don't know how those work, but since I'm kind of a tinkerer, I don't mind taking it apart. I'm just going to mark this top burr so I know exactly where it is lined up when I put it back together, so I won't have to experiment with grind again. And then just spin the top like that, and there's the top burr, and there is the bottom burr. So I've marked the side here. Okay, put the whole unit down on a workbench so I could put some weight on it, loosen the screws off, and the burr comes off like that. I'm just going to clean up this brass top plate. I'm going to clean up the top burr, and then it'll be ready to go back together. So here is the clean burr and top mount. Again, when I took the screws off the burr, just took them out, I made sure to put them in the exact place that they're going to go back into. It's probably not that big a deal on a coffee grinder, but I know from working on cars and other mechanical things, to the extent that you can put things back exactly the way they were, it's useful. So I'm going to go off camera and assemble this unit again, and then I'm going to tackle the bottom burr. There it is, put back together. You want to crank these screws up good and tight, because last thing you do, you don't want one of those screws coming loose, because it's going to make a mess of your burrs. One problem you might find is the whole bottom burr housing and burr wants to move when you're trying to unscrew it. On this model, you can stick a screwdriver or something down the throat of it and gently jam the housing up against it and get at the screws. If you have a deep socket, you can also put that down on there. Of course, it's metric, and hold it that way. So I'm going to unloosen these screws now and take the burr off. Now, this burr is kind of in an awkward place at the bottom, so I'm using a small, tiny little screwdriver to kind of, again, go in at the throat and get the edge of it there and kind of pull up on it. And once I get that, I can go in from the side here, and it comes loose. And as soon as I get it out again, I'm going to take a marker and mark generally where it goes back in, so I know exactly where to put it, just like that. So to clean this area in here, I just kind of take a old toothbrush and just kind of scrub away. This bottom housing is brass, so you don't want to use anything too steel-like on it. anything plastic will be pretty good. And yeah, this isn't terribly sticky, gunky stuff. I don't use dark espresso beans, which tend to be gunkier and oilier than a light roast, so it's coming up pretty easily. The other thing to make sure that it's good and clean is the exit chute, because quite often that again is where you get a buildup of ground coffee that makes it difficult for the coffee to get out easily. This is the burr from the bottom, and this machine's about 9 years old and I use it every single day. And these are the original burrs, and as you can see, it's in pretty good shape. Really, you know, unless you get a rock or something like that in your coffee beans, these burrs should last like a long time. And just screw the top housing back on, and you know that's zeroed out. The two burrs are touching one another, and I know with this grinder I back it off so that my arrow points to this little arrow here. So there it is, the grinder all put back together and ready to go. I was careful to mark the settings, mark everything as I took it apart so I could put it back together. So everything was in the exact same position, so I know the grind will be exactly where it was before. Hopefully this video gave you some idea of how to take your grinder apart, clean the burrs, and have a look at replacing the burrs if you need to. Check online, there's lots of sources for replacement burrs for your grinder. And if you found this video helpful, please leave me some positive feedback. Thank you very much, and goodbye.